Hello guys, what is up? This is GalacticElliot, welcoming you guys to Season 3 of the NPA Week number 2. The Chicago Cubchoos are going against the Minnesota Vikavolts, formerly known as the York Metapods, formerly also, not really formerly, but also known as the St Louis Rampardos and the GBA. So guys, sorry for my voice, I'm feeling a bit congested today. We're going to be going, it's Dan, one of my good pals. You guys should have to go check him out if you guys don't know who aDrive is. I'm sure all of you guys know who aDrive is, though. I'm sure everybody does. If you guys don't, go check him out. He's awesome. But anyways, he has a very good team. Actually, a very underrated team, if I do say so myself. So, let me go ahead and get the settings up real quick. But I'm going to tell you guys the team. I'm going to tell you guys how everything's going to go. So, basically, let me just, set just normal rules and everything with that. Because this game's insane with its freaking, pretty much everything. But, his team consists of Minior, Infernape, Alone, Ninetales, Vikavolt, Alone, Sand/Gorbis, Necrozma, Crocodile, Shaman, Dragalge, and Vaporeon. So, the 6 Pokemon that I do presume he is going to bring are Infernape, Alone, Ninetales, Alone, Sand/Necrozma, Crocodile, and Vaporeon. So, those are the 6 I assume he's going to bring, but he can always bring Dragalge, he can always bring Vikavolt. I see those 2 Pokemon being very much, likely Pokemon for him to bring. If I don't see the Alone Sand, I'll be very, very happy. If I see a Dragalge, I won't really care too much, but I do have Toxic Spikes on my tentacle in case he does. And I'm actually very nervous because Alone Sandslash is definitely his most threatening Pokemon. Most people wouldn't think that Alone Sandslash would be the most threatening because I do have, Mega Gross and stuff. But, I mean, Slush Rush with that move pull and Swords Dance is very much scary. So let's see what he's going to bring. And he does bring pretty much the team that I thought he would bring. I don't see Vaporeon. And, yeah, I don't see Vaporeon. I don't see Crocodile. So actually, that's not bad. That's not too bad. We do see Dragalge. I'm not upset about that. Shaman, I'm not too upset about either. It can be something that can be threatful, of course. Shaman is never something to cough at, man. It's a very good Pokemon, but I mean, I wasn't expecting him to bring it. I really was not expecting him to bring Minior. So I'm glad, I wish he kind of brought Minior in that case, but it's all good. So he has the Infernape, he has the Lone Ninetales, Lone Sandslash, Necrozma, Shaman, and Dragalge. Okay, so there are lots of things that I can lead off with. He's probably just going to use this Infernape as a little pivot to begin with. I can see that thing being Scarfed, honestly, but I don't know if he's really going to bring Scarf whenever he has, Lone Sandslash or that Slush Rush, man. That thing is such a threat, man, and yeah, honestly, it kind of sucks that I don't have any sort of hazards other than Toxic Spikes that could just be absorbed by Dragalge. So that's a bit of a bummer, but it is okay. So I was thinking about leading off with Tentacle over here, but honestly, man, I really don't know what I want to lead off with. It's a bit complicated, man. It's a bit complicated. I don't really have much of a pivot in this matchup, so I'm definitely going to have to preserve a few things. I'm not really liking this matchup so much now that I see that he did bring the Lone Sandslash. I mean, I really wasn't in the first place, but I'm kind of curious to see what the Shaman is. I'm kind of curious about the Dragalge as well. But let's see what we're going to do against my man Dan. Good luck to him. He's very good. He's 1-0 so far. He 2-0'd Duncan Knee Deep as I 2-0'd BigPummGaming. So we're in the same exact division. We have the same exact differential. We have the same exact record so far. So it's a bit of a divisional matchup and whatnot. A lot of people are, seeing this as an anticipated matchup. And I don't know, man. If Lone Sandslash gets in and has Aurora Veil plus yeah, Rafiki, of course. If he has that beautiful little, Lone Sandslash Swords Dance set and whatnot, that's gonna be a bit scary. So over here, he could probably just go for the U-turn. This is where it gets a little bit crazy because I don't know what set he is. I don't know whether he's Scarfed or not. I don't know if he's probably just gonna U-turn, and we'll see if he's Life Orb or not. If he wants to go for the EQ/Thunder Punch, or should I say Thunder Punch, then he can. It's unfortunate to let my Tentacle get damaged this early in the game, but honestly, man, I think I'm just going to go for the Scald. I really want to see what this thing is, what kind of set it is. If I don't see any Life Orb, I could presume that it's a Z, I could presume that it's a Z Infernape, like a Z move Infernape, or I can presume that it is possibly Scarfed. If he is Scarfed, then I can, yeah, it's 4 move syndrome. I really don't know what he's going to be, using as coverage. He probably has the Grass Knot for Size doing in case it comes by. Fire Blast, probably the U-turn for pivot and stuff like that. Probably Fighting Stab or just EQ. We'll see what happens. I'm just going to go for the Skull, and he probably will go for the EQ or Thunder Punch, man. He's actually going to withdraw, so we know that he does not have the U-turn. He's going to go to a Depth, so that's probably the Dragalge. That is the Dragalge, the adaptability. It's all good. It's all good. So he's probably presuming the Toxic Spikes we're going to come by. That does a decent amount of damage, and we see Black Sludge. Okay, so We know this thing is not an AV/spec set Black Sludge, so we know it's a bit defensive, probably some offense with it too. And we don't have any Ice Beam, so we're not really gonna, you know, be able to do much with having this thing in. So at this point, we're gonna have to switch out, and you know, honestly, we don't really have much like a switch in against this thing, unfortunately. Yeah, we really don't have much of a switch in because it does get Scald, and he can, you know, use Scald to get that burn. So at this point, man, this is where I really don't have much of a switch in. So what I can do is I can go into my Explode over here. That's probably my best move because I don't really have much of a switch in against this thing at this very moment. At least we know it's item. That's nice. But if I go into Metagross, then he has the Scald. If I go into Dragalge, if I go into what am I saying, Dragalge? If I go into Salamence, he does have the Dragon Stab. Of course, it's not faster, but he can always use the Dragon Stab to predict my switch. Plus, I don't think a Dragon Claw would really OHKO. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna go into my Explode over here and see where that takes me. He doesn't know that we're Scarf this week, so he's probably going to be throwing out into the switch out. And this is kind of my way to kind of, you know, bluff it. We do have the Boom Burst, so that will go through this thing. Pretty interesting to see Substitute on a Dragalge, actually. I've never seen Substitute on a Dragalge before, so this is actually the best case scenario since I do have the Boom Burst, which will go through the sub. And he's probably really scared of the specs. But let's see. Let's actually see how much we will do against this Dragalge over here. So let's see my Explode set. Of course, it is Scarf this week, like I mentioned, so it's not gonna do as much damage as it, you know, would typically do. But he doesn't know that we're Scarf, so we'll see what happens over here. So I'm gonna say this is probably the special defensive set. Freaking Substitute, man! Wow, that is very interesting. That's very much interesting. So let's see the Boom Burst, and Boom Burst will not actually do a lot of damage. But he can't do too much back at us. And again, he's probably assuming we're specs. He probably doesn't want to let this thing go down, especially whenever he knows we have Tentacool and the possible T-Spikes. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Sub Dragalge, that's so interesting. I'm just gonna go for the Boom Burst, though. We're gonna see if he stays in. He does stay in. He applies the Focus Blast. That's a bit unfortunate. I actually just remember this thing does get Focus Blast. And he actually goes for the Sludge Bomb. Okay. So if you wanted to see what kind of set we were, and that kind of does give it away, unfortunately. And that does do a big chunk of damage. And that's actually not that's actually not the best case scenario right now. He probably knows that we're Scarfed at this point because of the damage that was done. It would have OHKO'd if it was specs more than likely. Maybe he has some sort of investment to make this thing outspeed us or whatever. I don't think he really does, though. So it's kind of an interesting scenario over there. So he's probably just going to let this thing down at this point. I'm just going to use the Boom Burst just to kind of finish it off and whatnot. And see what that does for us. He's probably trying to think what he's going to do at this point if he wants to switch into like a Lone Sandsearch or something like that. He's probably calculating to see what kind of set we are. He now knows that we're Scarf, which is a huge downer, unfortunately. Wow, that was actually a really bad scenario. And it could have been worse if he had Focus Blast and actually landed it, because that would have OHKO'd. Like, I had just remembered that, but honestly, man, I didn't really have much of a switch in, especially whenever this thing is sub. I cannot, you know, double out or whatever whenever this thing has a sub up. I have to hit it. And, I mean, Boom Burst is the best case scenario because I actually hit through it. So at this point, you know, I'm obligated to stay in. I have to stay in. It doesn't really matter because I'll kill it. And if anything switches in over here, we'll take some damage. I really can see the only things coming out like Necrozma or Shaman, or maybe Saiyan Slash if he knows we're choiced. Maybe he thinks we're Silk Scarf. He will switch out more than likely into the Alolan Sand Slash. White out. That is the Alolan Sand Slash. Okay, so I'm probably going to have to let this, ooh, that does some decent damage. But I'm probably going to have to let this thing die over here, because I don't want to let this thing get a free Swords Dance up. I really, really don't. And honestly, killing this thing early on without any sort of Slush Rush capabilities, man, is very important. Now, I know, it's a Scarfer. I shouldn't let it die so early, but if this thing has Swords Dance, I am in fucking, like, I am in such big trouble. So I have to get as much damage on this thing as possible. And again, we're Scarfed. Maybe he's Scarfed. Well, he wouldn't want to Scarf Slush Rush Sand Slush with the only Ninetales. He's not Scarfed. Don't bluff that. Alright, so if we get a crit over here, this thing's dead. I'm kind of hoping for the crit, not gonna lie, but it is going to kill it. Is that crit? That is not a crit. We got a high roll, baby. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, Dan. That was either a low roll on the first and the normal roll on the second, or a regular roll on the first and a high roll on the second. I'm very sorry for that, though, Dan. Oh my goodness, that kind of sucks really badly for him. And at this point, wow, I actually feel really bad because I don't know whether that was a high roll or if the other one was regular roll or the low roll and this one was a regular roll. I don't know what it was. Very, very sorry, Dan. I'm gonna calc that. For his sake, I'm gonna calc that. For his sake, I'm gonna calc that real quickly. I don't know what kind of spread he's running, so it's kind of tough to calculate, but I do want to see. I'm very curious myself to see if that was, in any case, shape, or form, a high roll or not. Typically, with a Slush Rush set that this thing probably had, it was 47 to 55, so that was probably a low roll on the first one and a regular roll on the second one, as it does do 47 to 54, or 55, I should say. But I don't know if he was running more HP investment or whatever. I feel really bad now. I feel really bad because that's a huge hit over there. Let me go ahead and say that Exploud kills a low on Sand Slash with Boom Burst. Like I said, that was the biggest threat on the field, and wow, that was insane. So here comes the Necrozma, and honestly, man, I don't know what this thing's gonna want to do. This thing is probably one of the most interesting Pokemon because you don't know what it wants to do, and it's very scary because it can set up and it does have Rock Polish that's Atomized as well. T-Wave if you want to be a snarky and want to get some sort of paralysis off. Very scary Pokemon. I don't know whether I should just sack this thing off. It's Scarf, like I said, and this thing can be the Stored Power set, man. That's the scary part, man. Stored Power. But I doubt he really wants to fuck around with that too much. He's probably just gonna go for the kill, and I do have Pangoro. See, this is a bit of an interesting thing, an interesting scenario. Some people would just say, "Boom Burst it, go, your Scarf," but I'm probably just gonna go out into Pangoro over here. The reason I have Pangoro is to actually wall the Necrozma in a way, not really wall it, but in a way do some mega damage to it and knock off Will Oko it. So yeah, we're gonna go into Endangered, and we'd have the Mold Breaker to get past his ability, of course. He has the Dark Pulse, that's perfect. It's going to do literally no damage. So good thing that we did switch out over here. We do know that this thing is Dark Pulse. We don't see any items, so maybe it's probably leftovers, to be honest. We don't know what kind of item it has, though. So we're going to say Dark Pulse. Now we get a free knockoff on anything, really. It will Oko, and if this thing doesn't have speed investment, he's not going to outspeed us. So he's going to withdraw over here. We're going to knock off whatever item. He's probably just going to start... Actually, no, he goes into Shaman. I was about to say, he may just sack off the Dragalge at that point, but knockoff is going to do some utter amazing damage over here, and not as amazing as I thought. It's probably a Z move. Did I see no item? That's a Z move. So it's probably Z. It's probably going to be Z Dazzling Gleam, now that I think about it. So this thing, we know this thing has a Z move. That's where knockoff is such a fucking good move, man, and it's especially really good in this game because we can see it. And I apologize for the last battle for not knowing about the Z moves and whatnot. Like, I knew about it, but I was in such utter shock that he had Corkscrew Crush or whatever it's called, and I was still like, oh my god, what if it's Scarf? What if it's like, I was like losing my mind. I know now it has a Z move. We use knockoff. We didn't see any items, and so we can actually see his team over here actually. So yeah, we see that he has an item. So I need to make sure we know that he has an item, but it was knocked off. At this point, we really can't get a free switch into anything. Sea Flare will pretty much do a lot of damage to a lot of things. You could debate that. Salamence is the best move over here. He's probably just gonna go for the Z Dazzling Gleam though, expecting me to go into Salamence. I'm gonna go right into Tentacruel. He may have the Z. Earth Power. You see, this is where Z moves are very nice because you do not know what he's gonna run. But Tentacruel honestly is not so valuable in my team at this very moment, and I am. I'm okay with it. If he uses the Z Dazzling Gleam, I'm gonna be so happy because that will waste his Z move over here. He's gonna go for the Dazzling Gleam though. We don't see the Z move, so yeah, that's fine. We're gonna eat that up real quickly. So I don't know whether he was trying to bluff it or not in case we switched out. He may keep it for later on, or maybe he has a Z Earth Power and we'll figure it out. I don't want to risk it. But I could double. I could very much double over here, but I really don't know what to double into, to be honest. So I think I'm just gonna stay in. If he has the Z Earth Power, good fucking play on the dance part. I really can't do much about it. It seems like he's the defensive set though. I didn't see any leftovers, so we know that. But we obviously know that it is a Z move because we use knockoff. So we know this thing's probably a little bit bulky. He did take a knockoff pretty damn well. I'm actually gonna go ahead and count that real quick just to kind of see what kind of set he is and see where that will take us. And him switching out on the first turn with Infernape kind of leads me to think that he is probably a Scarf set with that U-turn because he wants to have as much coverage as possible, which would make sense because, again, 4-move Syndrome is very scary. So, let's see. So knockoff from the Pangoro. I don't know why the moves didn't go through, man. That's kind of annoying because I have to like, kind of just put in the moves every now and then. Knockoff on this set. Wow. Yeah, this is okay. It's definitely defensive. Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna go for the Sludge Bomb. He probably has the Earth Power Z move. He's gonna switch out. Okay, so he's probably gonna Dragalge over here. That's a switch every other time, man. That's pretty much what he's always gonna go into. And let's say Sludge Bomb is gonna be 2 KO. It probably won't be, especially for the Black Sludge. But you can't use a sub, which is fine. You cannot use a sub, which is completely okay. Okay, so now he's kind of forced to go for like a dragon move. He's kind of forced to go for like a dragon move. It kind of makes me want to go into Mega Gross over here. It kind of makes me want to go for that because he can't really hit Mega Gross too hard. We saw a sub and we saw Sludge Bomb. Well, he has a skull possibly too, so I shouldn't do that. That's a little risky. I know I overthink a lot, guys. I do apologize for that. I'm very much an overthinker. But that Sludge Bomb did so much on my spot, so he definitely has some sort of investment. I'm gonna see how much a Dragon Pulse would do against this. Maybe he's Draco. If he's Draco, that'd be scary. He's probably running adaptability still, right? Yeah, he's definitely running adaptability. You know, he's running like Poison Touch or whatever. That'd be stupid. If this thing even gets Poison Touch, I'm kind of just thinking off the top of my head right now. So there you go. Draco actually wouldn't even do that much on the set that I'm looking at right now, but he definitely has some sort of investment. But if Draco does 43.51 with this set that I'm looking at right now, I don't know, man. I think I can take a hit pretty darn well. So I'm gonna go for the skull just to get the burn. Because Sludge Bomb does do an extra 10, but skull would be pretty nice. We're gonna stay in. We do obviously outspeed. So if you get a burn over here, this thing's gonna die. Actually, no. Will burn come first or will Black Sludge come first? He's gonna go for the Draco. He does land it. That'll do a good chunk of damage. Unfortunately, I can't really do much about it. So we're gonna take that hit. Not too well, unfortunately. And yeah, he's probably just gonna die on this turn. If he doesn't, that's actually fine with me. Actually, yeah. Actually, no. I'm very happy he's not gonna die on this turn because I'm gonna get a free turn of Black Sludge recovery because this will leave him like at 2 HP. Yeah, cool. Okay, I'm actually pretty happy about that. Now he can't just switch over here and let this thing die later to fodder. Seeing as to what he has left, I'm just gonna go for the Sludge Bomb in case he switches out. He's probably just gonna let this thing die though, which is completely okay with me. This kind of makes me want to go for Toxic Spikes in case he stays in and stacks this thing off because another Draco won't do a lot of damage unless he crits. Yeah, he's just gonna let this thing die though. I could have gone for the Toxic Spikes. I don't think that would be absorbed right whenever he's in. But anyways, we end up killing the Dragalge over here. So Tentacruel kills Dragalge with Sludge Bomb. I really feel bad still about that roll on Sandslash. I really do. But I really think that was a lower roll on the first turn and a regular roll on the second turn because it did like 53 damage. So it's a bit of a higher roll, but I feel like the first one was a really low roll because if it was supposed to be like a regular roll on both times, it would have been like 51-51. So, you know, it is what it is. We can't really you know, talk about calcs too much. It's a little bit of a thing that kind of happens. Okay, this thing definitely has Aurora Veil, and this thing definitely has the Freeze Dry. 100% has the Freeze Dry no matter what. This thing has Freeze Dry. Okay, so we don't know whether this thing is Icy Rock or we don't know if this thing is going to be the Light Clay. That's the thing. So we don't know whether we don't really know what's going to happen with that. So Freeze Dry is going to come over here and probably just kill us. I could switch into something else, but to be honest, I don't know, man. This thing probably does have also the Dark Pulse against my Mega Gross. Yeah, I feel like Tentacruel is like the least important thing on my team right now. But I can get a free switch into Mega Gross, but then what if he uses Aurora Veil and then has Dark Pulse? That's a little bit of a scary situation over there. You know what? In case he goes for the Aurora Veil, I'm just gonna go for the Sludge Bomb. He's probably just gonna go for the Freeze Dry and kill me. That's fine. I know he has a Freeze Dry. It's 100% guaranteed. Aurora Veil. He does go for the Aurora Veil. We're gonna get a free hit off. That's fine. I'm okay with that. He probably was expecting the switch out over here. We're gonna get a free hit off, and that's completely okay with me. That is really that is pretty much nothing. Unfortunately, really sucks. But what are you gonna do, right? What are you gonna do? Okay, so yeah, Aurora Veil is such a good move, man. It's such a good move. It's like a free reflect and light screen at the same exact time, man. But he doesn't have the sand switch anymore, which is super freaking nice. Easily the biggest threat. Okay, I gotta see how much Bullet Punch from my Mega Metagross would do on this thing with Aurora Veil up. Because that is very much scary. And as you guys can tell, I very much did prep up for Dan's team. I was very scared. Very, very scared. I know Dan and his style of battling, and yeah, he's an amazing battler. I really look up to him and what he does. And I'm not trying to suck up or anything, but he's an awesome dude. Okay, so Bullet Punch does a lot of damage, obviously, in retrospect, but I gotta see with the Aurora Veil up how much it would do. And this thing may be a little bit bulky, who knows? This thing may be a little bit bulky. Bullet Punch will still do a shitload of damage from what I could tell over here on this calc. I could be wrong, unfortunately. But I'm going to go ahead and expect the Freeze Dry and go out and into my Mega Metagross. Now, if he uses the Dark Pulse, props to you, Dan. Props to you. You're a fucking legend. But I really think that my man Z-Drive over here. You guys remember Z-Drive, right? Okay, I'm being a bit of an asshole using this thing. That's not the Freeze Dry, okay? I'm being a bit of an asshole using this thing. Please don't get a freeze, by the way. Please. That would have been karma if I got a freeze over there. That would have been karma. For me using his nickname, that would have been such karma, man. Imagine. That would suck so bad. Okay, we gotta make it on the first turn. We're gonna go for the Bullet Punch. And he definitely has to switch out over here. Nothing really wants to take Mega Metagross's hit. So let's go for the beautiful, nice little Bullet Punch. He's definitely gonna switch out, of course. He's gonna go into Eclipse, the Necrozma. That's a switch in pretty much 9 times out of 10. And we're going to get free Mega off over here. Aurora Veil is up, unfortunately, so we do have to remember that. This is probably his plan all along. He's probably going to have the setup over here as well. So do got to be worried about that. Do very much got to be worried about that. This will pretty much do nothing. No damage whatsoever. Literally eaten up. He has a Rocky Helmet. Okay. So we know this thing's hella bulky. Hella freaking bulky. Okay, so Aurora Veil has had, what, like 2-3 turns up? We can actually change it. We can actually see how long the Aurora Veil ups up, right? Okay, 2 turns. So 2 turns out of 8. More than likely, I'm pretty sure he's running like Clay because Aurora Veil is so good. It's too good. Okay, so that was a very nice switch on his part. That was very good for him. Very nice for him. I definitely want to bring a Tentacle later on. At least get 1 layer of Toxic Spice up now that Dragalge is gone. But that's not something I'm really focused on right now. I'm focused on just getting my dude Pangoro in there. He knows Pangoro's coming in. He probably has the T-Wave. But in case he doesn't, we're going to get a free hit off on pretty much whatever. He's probably just going to bring back the Shaman at that point. Because there's no shame in that. Excuse my pun. Probably has the Rocks, actually. He's in a double. He's in a double, probably into Ninetales. Yep. No, that's Shaman. That is Shaman. Okay, well... This is still unfortunate, man, because I'm really not getting a lot of intel on a lot of his sets, but I actually am. Like I know a lot of his team right now. And for Infernape, he's probably leaving in the back because of Scarfer though. Shaman though. Shaman. You know, he's probably just gonna go for another Dazzling Gleam. If he goes to Earth Power, that's fine. Again, we were kind of letting Tentacle go down a bit earlier on. You know, I did say that it would be nice to get T-Specs up later, and it would make a big impact in this battle, but I really can't risk anything else taking some sort of Dazzling Gleam. He's probably just going to go for the Earth Power, though. He has to go for the Dazzling Gleam, okay. Probably has the Earth Power, though. There's no way he wouldn't. Sea Flare, Earth Power, the Hail Stop, so we know it's like Clay. So I'm going to make sure that we know that thing is like Clay. Okay. Okay, so over here, I'm actually going to go for the T-Spikes in case he switches out. I feel like he would definitely 100% just go for the Earth Power if he has it, though. Yeah, Earth Power. Okay, we're dead. We're dead unless we live with like 2 HP. Okay, we're dead. I could have predicted that. I mean, I knew he had it. It's just that I couldn't really do much about it. So over here, I actually can go into Mence and scare him off with the possibility of Z-Fly, which I don't have, by the way. But do I really want to try to scare Dan? Is that really something I'm trying to do right now? That's probably pretty stupid, actually. Let's not do that. I'm in a bit of a pickle, and the Aurora Veil is still up. I think for like two or like 2 turns or something like that. So bit of an issue with this thing having such good coverage. He probably has the HPS as well for Ments, so obviously don't want to switch into that. I can't always. I mean, if he has C-Fight, it's gonna do a shitload of damage if I go into Clefable over here. Possibility of missing, but I'm not gonna just hope for a miss. That's kind of silly. Part of me just wants to go into Exploit over here, but I really, you know, Exploit won't kill with the Aurora Veil up. That is the issue. I'm gonna go ahead and calc it though, just to see. You know, he's defensive with some offensive investment, of course. I really don't have much time to make my choice over here, so I gotta make it kind of quick. So yeah, I really don't have a lot of time to make my choice over here. Yeah, Boom Burst would do nothing. We're put the Aurora Veil up, but I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. We're scarfed. I really can't do much about this right now with the Aurora Veil up. He knows that we're scarfed as well, 100%, no doubt about it. Okay, so Aurora Veil has 2 more turns, I believe. Well, let's say 2 out of 8 though. It should say like 6 out of 8 at this point, but I guess like there's 2 more turns out of 8. See, I don't really know. Would Fire Blast kill this thing? Probably not. This isn't even the defensive fucking Shaman. This thing will do nothing. Like we're legit not gonna do any damage. I'm just gonna go for the Boom Burst. He's gonna stay in and just kill us. Yeah, he's just gonna stay in and kill us. Anything would kill us at this range. I'm just gonna go for the Boom Burst though. Yeah, he's just gonna let this thing take the hit. This still does a lot of damage. I'm not gonna lie. It still does a lot of damage. Okay. So no, this thing is physically defensive more than likely. And yeah, I mean, we're just letting this thing take, like, you know, kill things and stuff though. That sucks. I feel like we have to go into Mega Gross over here. There's pretty much no reason not to. And he's just gonna bring in Necrozma more than likely. See, I'm in a really bad position over here. I'm in a really bad position over here. Okay, okay, I'm gonna go into Mega Gross. I'm gonna scare him out. I'm gonna use Ice Punch. If he goes into Necrozma, he's gonna get Rocky Ammo damage. That's fine. And then I'm gonna go ahead and switch out into Pangoro. He's more than likely gonna switch out into Ninetales. And then after that, I do have the opportunity to have Bullet Punch, to use Bullet Punch on that Ninetales. So we're gonna have to do that. We're gonna have to do that. That's pretty much what I have to do over here. I know he has Necrozma with Rocky Ammo. I know it's gonna come out, but I don't want to risk this thing getting like getting a hit off on me. I know it's not Scarfed, obviously. I know it's Z move. I mean, I used 2 moves already, so that kind of gives it away. He's not gonna let this thing die though. There's no way. So he's probably just gonna Necrozma. I really should double out. I really should double out with knowing that knowledge. Should we make the crazy plays, guys? Should we make the crazy plays, or will he just snap this thing off to get a free switch? There's no way he's not gonna do that. He's 110 million% gonna do that. Will I just read him like a book, or am I gonna let Pangoro die like an idiot? I'm gonna do the double. I gotta make these plays to ensure my victory over here. And I'm sorry if this backfires. I know I fucked up. Okay, I'm making the change into it. Okay, so we outspeed it, so we don't know if he switched out or not. I'm really hoping this will pay off though. I'm really hoping it's gonna pay off. Maybe I over predicted. We'll see. And it looks like he stayed in. He switched out. Okay, cool. He's gonna go into Necrozma more than likely. He does. Perfect. 100% amazing, and the Aurora Veil should wear off on this point. It does. Perfecto. That was amazing. That was amazing, and that will pretty much do me some justice over here. So over here, I have to go for the knockoff, 100%, 100 million%, and he's gonna definitely have to go into Ninetales. I have the Bullet Punch for that to kill it on the next turn. So that is actually amazing. That is actually amazing. So we read him very well over here. He's probably trying to see if knockoff from a Mold Breaker Pangoro would kill, and it will kill. So he has to switch out. The only switching he really has is either sacking off Shaman or going to Infernape and letting his Scarf go away. So he's probably just going to sack off Shaman at this point. But then what does he go into? Is he just gonna go into Infernape, or is he just gonna go back into Ninetales? I do have the Bullet Punch. So we're coming in really, really nice. Pangoro is a monster over here in this match, and he has to sack off something over here. Something's gonna die. Something's gonna die. Infernape would probably be his best play unless he really wants to get that Scarf intact, which he definitely does. That Scarf is very much important. Of course, it will lock him into a move, and we have such good coverage on this team. I haven't even brought out Mence, and I haven't even brought out Clefable yet, so he's really thinking about this play. I can't blame him. I would be thinking really, really hard over here. He has to switch out, though. 100% going to go into Shaman over here. He's going to attack out Shaman. That's pretty much how it's going to go. So we're going to go and knock out this thing to death, and we're going to see what he's going to go into now. We're going to see what he's going to go into now. I do want to make sure that Bullet Punch will kill a Ninetales, because I'm not 100% sure if it will. That's the issue. Yeah, Emma Frost. It does have damage already. We're gonna go for Bullet Punch 100 million%. He does not know we have Bullet Punch either. So let's see, man. Gotta make sure we will kill this thing though with Bullet Punch. Yeah, if we get rid of that Auroraville, baby, we're gonna kill that thing nicely. Let's go for the nice little Bullet Punch over here. Let's make sure we click Bullet Punch and not misclick, and we should be able to kill this thing right over here. He's probably gonna double, if anything else, but he has really nothing to switch into at this very moment. He's probably gonna actually scout for it. There's no way he's gonna come into this thing and just let it die. I know Dan well enough. Maybe he will. We'll see. So Shaman. So wait. Pangoro kills Shaman with knockout. So everything on our team has a kill so far. Every different Pokemon has a kill on the team so far. We can get two over here though. Pangoro, man, such a monster. Such a monster. I feel really bad for killing the Shaman though. I feel really, really, really bad. I feel really, really bad. And I feel so bad about the Boom Burst though. I'm so sorry, Dan, if you're watching this. I'm so sorry, man. I know you're probably really pissed. I'm probably gonna watch the your side of the whole entire thing. We get the Bullet Punch off though, and that should kill this thing very much nicely, and it will kill it. Pangoro is such a fucking monster. Pangoro kills a Ninetales with Bullet Punch. Alright. We are looking very nice over here, guys. And now Infernape will more than likely have to come in. Rafiki does come in. Alright. Alright, so now we have to figure out what set this thing is. We did see that the Z... Yeah, he's definitely Scarfed. He definitely has to be Scarfed at this very moment. He definitely has to be Scarfed. So he has to lock himself into a move over here, more than likely. Now, is the plated Mence really that obvious? That's the question. We don't have any sort of int on this Infernape. This Infernape could very much sweep us if he knows what he's doing. I think it does it to get Ice Punch, or maybe it gets HP Ice. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go for the HP Ice right now. Honestly, man, he has to go for a Fighting move or an Ice move over here. Or maybe he's gonna go for the Gunk Shot, predicting us to go into Clef. We just gotta go into Clef right now. Clef is our least valuable member at this very moment. Clef is the least valuable member on our team at this very moment. I could have just sacked off the Pangoro over there, but there's really no point of doing that. He goes for the Empire Ice. Okay, cool. He's predicting defense. That is Life Orb. That is amazing to know. That is amazing to know. Okay. So now he knows that we're unaware, which is pretty funny since we did bring unaware. So he's Life Orb. Interesting. Life Orb. So he didn't even bring the Scarf. Wow. So now at this point, he has to go for the Gunk Shot. You know, I really don't got much to really I don't really got much to really sack off at this very moment. I think Clef is pretty much our fodder over here. He's gonna go for the Gunk Shot and kill us. I think this is the thing we have to just let die though. We have to unfortunately let Clefable die to Gunk Shot. I know he has 100% guaranteed, or your money back. If he misses, I feel really bad, but Mega Gursus comes in. You know, he can still win, guys. He can still win. He can still win. 100% is Gunk Shot, though. 100 million%. Now, will he overpredict? Is the play to stay in like super obvious, or does he think I'm gonna double out into Mega Gross like I've doubled out before aggressively? We're gonna be passive over here. We're gonna go for the Moonblast. He's just gonna go for Gunk Shot, though. No way he's not. Yeah, Gunk Shot. It misses, though. 80%. I am so sorry, Dan. I am so sorry for that miss. Like I said, okay, that really sucks, actually. The special attack drop is stupid. I'm very sorry, Dan. I didn't want this battle to rely on that kind of stuff. I really don't like hacks. I really don't like hacks. And I know going against my team is just ridiculous. So I'm sorry, man. I'm very sorry. At this range, though, I'm pretty sure a Bullet Punch from a Pangoro would probably kill. I'm just gonna go for the Moonblast again, though. I'm literally just sacking this thing up. I don't really need it alive. If Clefable could live, that'd be pretty funny, but it definitely can't. Gunshot's gonna come in and kill us. That's fine. He's gonna take hail and life orb damage. We actually are gonna live it. Wow. Okay. I saw the HP drawing down so like slowly, and I'm like, wow, is this thing really not gonna kill us? So yeah, we're gonna kill the Rafiki over here. I mean, that sucks, man. That the Gunk Shot had a miss, but it's the way of Pokemon. Unfortunately, I'm very sorry, Dan, for this hacks. I'm very sorry, man. That really sucks. Fable kills Infernape with Moonblast. And at this point, Pangoro, Pangoro just kind of cleans up at this very moment. Okay. So Infernape is gone. So at this point, Necrozma has to come in and pull off some shenanigans, see what it can really do. I'm just gonna get a free hit off on this thing. If he wants to set up on this turn, he can. I'm gonna die to poison anyway, so that's fine. I'm just gonna go for the Moonblast. He's probably gonna use Calm Mind. Yeah, he definitely has Calm Mind or something like that. He has Stealth Rock. So at this point, as we know, this thing's hella defensive. Pangoro will pretty much just come in and bring us to victory at this very moment. So we're gonna go on Moonblast, and Hail stops. That's cool. We're gonna die to the poison. So we're actually gonna die to Infernape over here because he did get the poison off on us. So that's interesting. Okay. So Pangoro just comes in and kills at this very moment. We should be good. If Pangoro doesn't kill, then we lose. This is such an interesting Pokemon. I gotta say, this thing is such an interesting Pokemon. And the late game rocks. I mean, it's not going to do much against us, but it's interesting. We know this thing's really defensive, and we did end up making sure that we will outspeed it, unless he does have some speed investment, of course. Gonna go just for the knockoff, and this should bring us to victory. He does use a T-Wave, it does miss. He could have hacked us to... Dan could have hacked us, guys! He could have hacked us! But that's just rude. Like, the game was just being, like, very rude over there, making him miss that. I'm so sorry, Dan, again. Not the way I wanted to win with some hacks near the end. Now, I don't know if the hacks really matter or not because Gunk Shot, you know, if it hit twice, I could have got a Moonblast off anyways. And then after that, Pangoro just comes in, Bullet Punches Infernape to death, and then at that very moment, I just knock off the Necrozma. He could have got some para hacks and stuff like that, some shenanigans. I did have D-Dance Ments, but of course he could have the Calm Mind and he could have the T-Wave to just T-Wave that. So he could have somehow hacked his way to death, which, you know, I couldn't feel bad because Dan could have won that battle. I'm very sorry, Dan, for the way that battle ended. Let's just make sure that we note that Pangoro kills Necrozma with knockoff. I really feel bad because, like, Dan could have won that match. He very much could have, and, it sucks whenever, like, Pokemon does that to you, you know, and that Boom Burst, man, that was the biggest play of the game because, like I said, Alolan Sandslash really just puts in so much work, and, at the same time, we could have got to really low health and just Bullet Punch it to death later on or whatever, but at the same time, I mean, it could have got a free, like, kill if it got, like, Swords Dance up or whatever, but I do have two Pokemon with priority in Mega Metagross, and I do have priority in, Pangoro with the Bullet Punch as well, so that could have killed the, Sandslash if he ended up getting some sort of like Swords Dance shenanigans later on. Very sorry about the hacks though, Dan. Thank you so much for watching though, guys. If you guys did enjoy this, you know, battle, make sure to drop a like. And like I said, go ahead and check out my man Dan. If you guys are, if you guys are rooting for the Minnesota Vikavolts, let me know in the comment section below if you guys are. If you guys are rooting for the Chicago Cubchoos, let me know. I want to see you guys repping the Chicago Cubchoos, baby. But hey, if you're a Minnesota Vikavolts fan, props to you guys. I'm sure you'll have a heck of a season. I'm sure St Louis Rampardos will do very well. I'm still a supporter of Dan. I'm very much a supporter, even though we're in the same division and everything. It's very tough to be in such a, you know, stacked division right now. But that was a very nice battle. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all later. Peace out.